started. This happens every single time. As soon as I press record, I go, oh, fuck, I've got to start this thing. Okay. Yo, welcome to CandlerCreative Chats. I am Dan Candler, and today we are joined by podcast flame Chris Barton. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, bro, good. I was gonna say maybe I should have started the episode just to like randomly switch it up.
Yeah. We should do that, man.
I can fake being you.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Yo, no, sorry, my bad. You start off with yo.
Yo.
What is up? And then I'll. Yeah.
That's rather insulting.
You know, I was thinking.
I sound like you made me sound like a fucking
No. I was thinking the other day you should get a clip. Like, you know how you can see all your Insta stories saved? You can like see your own stories.
Yeah.
You should clip the first bit of every story you've ever done where you started yo.
I was literally thinking
and
this
like change the pitches and make like songs out of them.
Oh yeah, like the auto tuning.
Yeah.
Is there a with the auto tuning thing? Is there like a how do people even do it? Is it like that kind of like a DJ style, like how they like mix it on the thing, or is it like an app? Or I bet now they've got like a fucking AI thing that does.
Oh yeah, you could probably do that. Yeah. I don't do it as much now, but I used to use like FL Studio. I don't know if it's still good anymore.
What does that change the pitch and of your tone of your voice?
So you could do you could like lay out a track, right? You gave you all the instrument sort of beats, and then you could lay that out, and then you could also have the piano, have like a keyboard piano on there, and you could like play out notes and like set them on bars, set the tempo and whatever. But then you could also record voice samples, put them in, and then you could like tweak them and play around with the tones and like the pitch and stuff. So then you could like, I don't know, you could throw it into the piano of me saying, you know, yo, and then you would like play the piano lower and be like, yo, or then you could like go down, yo. So you could like lay down a track like that sort of thing.
No, I have been thinking for a while. I wasn't thinking on that front, but that sounds even better. But I was thinking of getting every single clip from the first time I ever said yo, and putting them all together and seeing like even if the tone in the video is like different, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so literally just be one. It would be one massive video of just yo.
Just watch you just manage to say yo the same pitch every time.
It's not even like I'm trying to make the yo a part of me. I just can't stop the intro. I think it's like a security thing. I think I spoke about this with Kelvin on the last episode. I've spoken about this on the episode on the
podcast. So this is a therapy session here. When was the first time you said yo? When did the yo's start? Was this when you were a young child?
Oh, that is jokes. Yeah.
I don't know. Did you say it?
I don't know. I still won't stop.
Yeah. Oh, no, I just it's always it's like a comfort blanket. When I'm on the train to like set or something, I open Dan's stories, and then it's just like, yo, what up, guys? And you're just like,
yeah. The sad thing is that people don't see what happens after those stories when I'm crying in anxiety. No, I'm just I thought I'd just give it a dark turn. No, I don't, guys. I don't. I love it. No, I've gotten really used to it, and it's almost like the stories and stuff. It's like I've been so Val, you know Val. So Val, who's a core community flame. I had a chat with her recently because she's been wanting to go a little bit more on socials. And what I said to her, like to experiment, was doing like a 30-day challenge. And it's exactly what I did. And I recommend this to everyone. And this isn't even to be like on a social media level, or even, I think this is like a personal thing. Like for me, and it's the same as what we've spoken about with this. You know what I mean? Like this is also a personal thing. Like this is like what we spoke about like just before the podcast started. It was like this is like a journal. This is like an insight into our lives and like what we're doing and how we're feeling and all these different things. And it's the same as like I see as the when I do the socials, I'm going yo yo yo. Like, that is a piece of me. Like I'm putting myself out there. Like when I'm talking about my day and how I'm feeling and the things that I'm doing and the journey, like it's basically just like it is a story. It's an Instagram, like the stories is what the Instagram thing is what it says. It's a story. And I see those things as a story and a way for me um, to again, get better on camera and feel less anxious about being me. Cause I think that's what we, I feel like a lot of us probably struggle with is this it's a lot of the time it's just an anxiety of like showing who you are to the world, and yes, we do that through creativity, through the arts that what we do, through the musical theater stuff, through the photography, through the modeling, through the dance, all these different expressional things. That's how we get ourselves out there. But the thing that we struggle with really is to giving us our true selves out. That's what I mean. Maybe, but I think that's probably for a lot of people, and that's how it's stuck. Like,
yeah. True selves is like an interesting, I don't know, point to bring up though, because nowadays I feel like have you checked or you've seen someone post something on Instagram, or you remember a post, and then say you double checked later on, or you remembered, oh yeah, I remember that person did a really cool song or dance, or I don't know, and you went back to go check to see their profile, and they just deleted it, or you're like, oh, I wonder why that wasn't there. And I've been thinking that recently because with Instagram, at first when I first started Instagram, like I started it when I was maybe early high school, which I don't know what the British equivalent to that is, but maybe like, I don't know, 16 maybe. I didn't really like need it or want it until that point. And then it was just for like communication. And then every time I like traveled, I would just like post, like my first posts were just about traveling. Then as I started doing more, acting stuff, then it started going more that way. Then I started doing sports or diving or, whatever. And then it became that. Then I started, since I moved to like the UK, it became doing the reels, right? Of like different showpieces, or at least it did for a little while. And I was thinking, I was like, do I need to delete the early part of my Insta because it's not like got a theme or got a, whatever. And that's the thing.
No,
we're in a society that treats that. I feel like it instills in us that you have to have like a gimmick, or you have to have a theme to your life, or to your not your life, but your presentation to the world.
Bro.
And I was thinking, like I was about to delete something, and I was just like, it shows your.
That's your identity.
Yeah. There's an early photo of me in my tagged photos or whatever, where I look like I'm, cute Chris with no beard.
Yeah.
And then I'm just, but I mean that's what the process was, right? I started off looking like so innocent, and then now I just look like a burly lumberjack.
Now you just fucked up, and
I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, but that's the process. It shows, I think,
exactly,
a bit more humanity when you see the
I fully agree with you, man, and that's why I'll never delete anything from my social media. Like from like the Instagram, the one thing that brings me joy every now and again is going on my Instagram, going on my profile, scrolling down to the very bottom and seeing the start of my journey and then seeing now. You know what I mean? Seeing the fucking cute fucking 18-year-old Dan or whatever, or 16-year-old Dan, to then the now 28 fucking whatever the fuck I am.
I haven't
ugly piece of mess.
I haven't seen the 18-year-old Dan. We need to scroll to the bottom of this Insta.
Oh my fucking god, don't. But do if you feel like I don't really care. But this is
Nah,
a
bro,
thing. Like,
here.
I've had a couple of people like as well, like where I've seen their profiles. In fact, what was it? There was one in particular. I think it was like a company we worked for, and I think I was quite close with them, and they deleted one of our collaborative reels where we collaborated with them on Instagram. I said, "Oh,
Oh,
like,
okay.
why are you getting rid of the reel, bro? Like, I thought that was like a cool, like, I thought it was cool. Like, I thought it was like we would work together on it. It was a collaboration."
Yeah.
And they were just saying how, for the investors and for the different people, they have to do it in a certain way and give off certain things and da da da. It's like, oh, just all these things that we have to do for like in order to, you know what I mean? Just be you. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to go off straight away off of what you were talking about. Um, with something that I heard Gary Vee say, and I've mentioned this to a couple of people now because it's so true to what we are as a community, like what I see us as a community, and how I see my views and my values, and he literally just he said it in such the perfect way. Basically, there was this kid talking to him and asking me a question. He was like, "How do I find my niche?" Quotation marks for anyone listening on the podcast platforms. Said, "How can I find my niche?" And Gary was like, what Gary Vee was saying was like, "You are your niche. You as a human being are your niche." I mean, he didn't say it in those exact words, but that's basically what he was saying, and I completely and utterly agree. We, as what I've reiterated before, is we get told, and what's easy is for people to see us in one direction doing one particular thing for our whole entire lives and being the expert in that thing, when actually, like, you know Dan is a photographer, but Dan is also his circus skills, and Dan is also, you know um like, has enjoyment from like talking to people and connecting with people. That is, and many more things, like loads of different more things, but that is my brand. And I think now, like, we are coming to a time of where this idea of like all of us being individual brands is just becoming more and more and more and more and more. And I think it's hard for us to detach from the norms of how we have been living in that sense. And I just think what Gary Vee said was just exactly perfect. And he's never, and I mean, he's been pretty fucking right about a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta be honest, I don't listen to him as much as
I literally,
maybe
you know
beyond
what?
like the Insta reels.
Yeah. And I
But I
used
mean,
to
I
listen.
have heard some pretty cool like speeches and like lectures he's done.
Mm. And it's
To
not
be
even,
honest,
I
I
don't
just
even,
enjoy watching people who are very straightforward. And I don't know, are we allowed to curse on this podcast? Have we ever cursed on this
fuck
podcast?
yeah, motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah. Who don't take like bullshit. They cut through and they just speak the like exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah, fully.
And I'm really trying to like make that shift
Mm.
right now because I've realized I say sorry way too many times. I don't know if it's a British thing.
Oh, it's
I
a very
grew up with like
sorry,
British
please,
idioms.
thank you.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I want to be I like I'm a respectful person, you know. I'm not gonna step on someone's toes or like shove them out of the way. But also, I think too often people get kind of like shoved around when they don't speak their mind and they let stuff just play over.
Mm.
So if
But
someone
this goes
asks,
back to but this goes back to the whole thing of what we were saying is us being comfortable with ourselves. I mean, being comfortable with our true selves, and that goes with our
mm,
thoughts, our beliefs, our
yeah,
values, our boundaries, our ideas.
yeah,
It comes with all of that, because until you find that, I think we have this persona and this identity that we almost are just trying to give off, when actually most of the time I think our true identity is probably a bit deeper in there.
mm,
When I look at
yeah,
my life, I think I only truly became Dan when I, like, when I first started thinking about like say CandlerCreative and stuff, and like and what that was, because until that point I'd always tried to be something. I'd always tried to be something else, like, you know, be the um just be um like the like make it out like I'm a pro in the particular things that I was doing or whatever, when actually, like, until I just said, you know what, like, you are not the kind of guy who goes on this one photography route and becomes a photographer and you then become professional with that. No, you have all these different things, and like, you want to be everything, so fucking be everything. And then until I said that, like, you know what I mean, my true values and ideas, I think I was my beliefs and my mentalities and all that, I think I just kept behind, because I was like, well, that's not what society wants me to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the school system kind of created, you know, was
Yeah,
the sort
bro.
of build you up to become something,
I
give you
saw.
general knowledge, then select what you want.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I
so
mentioned a while back, like back in the day, when my father was sort of my age or younger, and then going through his 20s till he was about through his 30s even,
mm,
he had about like 12 different jobs, I think.
mm,
And like he traveled all over the place. I mean, my mother did as well, but like before they met, he traveled all over the place. He like hitchhiked through Australia, became a garbage man, worked like a garbage route in Australia for a
mm,
while. Then he like became a salesman. He used to sell like chlorine for pools, you know.
mm,
But like it was like where the wind blew him. Then he sort of like picked up a different trade. Then he became like a coffee salesman.
mm.
Then he became in Kenya. Then he became in Kenya. We have this company. I don't want to shout them out if they're not sponsoring us, but a meat company, very famous in Kenya, who would like give sausages and like bacon and you know that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he became like manager for that company. And then he was like, you know what? I love nature. I love doing safaris. Right? I love going on trips through the like the game forest and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, I'll start my own sort of, or like I'll join a company and then start as a tour guide and then as a travel agent, you know, to
Mm,
like book people on safaris, like bring them out, plan their whole trips and stuff. And now then he did that then he became self-employed. He started his own sort of thing. And then like now, in his later years, I can't remember how old he's now, but like he's then was like, oh yeah, I used to do some amateur theater, and then he got into like theater again
mm,
in his late theater, and then now he does like he'll ring me up and or like I'll get extra jobs or casting call outs from Kenya because I still follow all my pages. And I'll share them with him, and then he'll like go to these auditions, and then he'll do commercials and stuff like that.
oh, sick.
So
You're like
literally,
his
it's like,
agent.
yeah, exactly. When I need one myself, you know.
Yeah,
um,
bro. Yeah, it's
but
so really like that. This
but
is
yeah,
what it's doing. I've
but
seen
shout out
people.
to anyone out there, any agents.
Yeah, shout out
Chris is in need.
any of the maybe three subscribers and viewers that are watching this. If you're an agent, shout out. Let's fucking do this. Let's get Chris some work and potentially me if we've got any space.
Yeah, that's just all of us.
Just
But
yeah, because it's the same.
yeah,
Yeah, because I feel like I've been getting like Candler Creative has actually been doing quite well, getting like a few people work like videography jobs and like different photography stuff. And why can't I get other fucking people work and not myself?
yeah,
No, I can't.
no,
I have to. I no, I have to. I have had a couple of jobs, and I'm now working with like a great studio. It's like in the busy season for that. So I actually can't complain. Like I'm being an asshole to myself. You're getting Dan. You are getting work. Shut the fuck up. Thanks, bro. Cool.
yeah, bro, you could just do the podcast by yourself.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine doing a whole podcast where you do like the
Oh my.
pen down your
Yeah. Yeah,
like
so no, but if you had like, oh no, that wouldn't work. No, yeah,
you
if you
know,
had like two laptops, so like you're on one screen, and then we can
I
try it.
would No, I mean just like start recording a video. You know, you can just like record
Yes.
a video of yourself and then do a. Did you watch Tom Hardy in? Was it Charles Charles Bronson, where he played Charles Bronson, the like notorious
No,
British prisoner?
I never saw Bronson.
Good one, good one. Anyway, there's this. He kind of narrates it, right? Tom Hardy narrates this movie in a way. So there's scenes where he's narrating his sort of mental state, and he
Mm,
has a line, the line down his face. This side dressed as a tuxedo, this side dressed as like a circus clown, sort of more feminine side,
yeah.
and then he'll do the sort of like, "But you didn't think that we could have made it in that job," and then he's like, "Oh right, you think so? We was bloody good at that job. We was. No, we weren't. Yes, we was. You know." And then he does this whole like narration. You could just
Yeah.
do a whole episode where you're just sort of
Yeah.
talking through your Smeagol and Gollum
My
mental.
different personas.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you gonna add that little clip to your show reel, or are you
Oh, that little bit right there,
gonna?
bro. Anything
That's
nowadays,
really good, bro.
I'll add it. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
jokes.
but yeah, my dad used to do all kinds of different stuff, and he didn't really like, he didn't pick one singular lane, and now he's just like he had all that sort of experience. I think it's a good way to go.
How are we supposed to find out our true selves if we only stick to one particular thing?
Exactly.
All these different people who are doing one path, they're stuck in they're stuck in that fucking job they fucking hate. Like, leave the fucking job.
Or you're in a job that you love, but you go to, I don't know, you go watch a football game, or you go to a ballet recital, or I don't know,
Well, I just think like,
there's other stuff, but you go and then you're like, that looks like fun. But because
yeah.
I went this path and I studied engineering or whatever here, my society might see it kind of weird that I took like a ballet class. Or
Yeah.
I don't know, like I know you've got to start certain things quite early, but you can, you
You
can you
don't
have
though. That's the point. That's the point. There's so many good, dope videos out there that show you all the different people um, that have achieved their own individual success. For instance, I think what was it? I think there was one like Robert Downey Jr. was in prison or went to jail at like the age of like
oh,
27 and didn't get his first movie until like 37. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these different stories about people creating their true their true success like so much later in their lives, 40s, 50s, 60s. It doesn't fucking matter. But they made the jump when they made the jump to find their true self and give that true self off to the and release that true self off to the world. But they made that step, and that's the thing that I think I was saying. Like when I said about, oh yeah, just leave your job. It's not about don't just leave your job if you can't leave your job. But what I was trying to say is like you have to make that step, and whether that step is leaving your job to run the risk of, to put that pressure on yourself to do the things you want to do, then you do it. Or if that step is to when you get home from work and you have this business idea and then your first step is to just think of the name, that's a step. That's the
yeah.
mentality I'm trying to think of now with kind of creative, because before I, I was trying to do every step like all at once because I was so like because I just had this idea. I was like, oh my God, like it needs to be done now. And I think that comes with a little bit part of the whole like ADHD thing, or but it just needed to be done now. And then until I took a step back and just said, look, we need to take these steps, you know what I mean? And not think of like my life journey all being done within a day.
It can be difficult though, man. I mean, like I still struggle with that so much every day. Like I think I told you quite a ways back. I don't know if it was in a podcast episode. It might have been in one of our like therapy sessions before the podcast starts.
Yeah.
But I think I told you back when this was probably at the beginning of the year. I saw when I moved out here that I basically, my journey to what I wanted to achieve was like a marathon or like a mile, right? A mile is 4 laps around a track. So 400 meters is 1 lap, you know, so you do 4 of those laps and then you'd finish. So I saw it as, you know, I ran each stretch of 100 meters. But I saw when I moved out here that I couldn't see the end goal, even though I kind of knew what it looked like or what I wanted it to look like. But that it was almost like hazy in between and I couldn't see it. But you know, when people are doing marathons and then they've got the jumps, the hurdles that they have to go over, right? Like the long running hurdles. So they'll like do the jumps as well.
Yeah.
I think I remember I told you that the way I was seeing it was I get here, okay, I've got to establish my base, my home, you know, get a source of income going, and then now start pursuing the film stuff a little bit more, right? So get all my content together. Then it was like, okay, the first hurdle is finally get my show reel stuff together. Once I'm over that, then I've got to do the second hurdle, third hurdle. And in my head, it was like, okay, I know how many hurdles there are until I reach my goal. I was like, I've got about 4 hurdles to do. I've got to do show reel. I've got to, you know, do some networking, send messages out to some agents and the contacts I have who are friends of friends who can get me the little, you know, meetings with some people who I wouldn't be able to get with by my own, like, you know, accord. Then the fourth one was, you know, I don't know. You know, I had my process and I was like, okay, I've only got like a couple left. But then I hit a point where I jumped over one of them thinking, fuck yeah, I've only got one left. And the haze cleared and shit happened. And I realized, shoot, there's like 6 more hurdles that I've got to jump over.
Yeah, those hurdles will keep popping up.
And I just felt like the destination where I thought it was here and I was so close, it then in like one day became like, this is like 3 years down the line before I'm going to achieve this.
And that's when people stop.
And it was, I mean, it still is hard, man, but
that's, I think that's where people
was
struggle. That's where people struggle because just like when my thought process was like, oh, I need everything, I need all of that, everything that I'm thinking in my head, it needs to be now, or else I'm not this, you know, I'm not the success or whatever, or successful, or I'm not achieving something, I'm not doing this. It needs to be now. And I think that moment there is where I think a lot of people struggle, because it's so easy then to be like, it's too much, overwhelming, fuck that, like that's like I need to do it all now, But if you push past that and you keep going on, you take that next step and you don't go over the hurdle, you just take a step towards the hurdle and you keep doing those steps until you get to the hurdle. And even if that hurdle is like fucking, like you're right up against the hurdle and you're thinking, fuck, I need to jump over this now, and it's too much, you just fucking you just put one leg over the hurdle. Cool, that's one leg, and then you get another leg over the hurdle. Sweet, all right, cool, I've made 2 steps now to get over that hurdle. But it's about making those, it's about having that step and not procrastinating in this thought process of like it's just going to it's going to be never, like it's never going to end, I'm never going to get to there, you know, I have these ideas, I have all these different things, I'm never going to get to there. Okay, yeah, but you might not, but you won't get there if you don't try.
I mean, what the thing is, what you told me when I first told you that was, you said, you were like, and it changed my mentality behind it and it made it seem more achievable, was don't see the hurdles as to-do lists before you reach the reward, or don't see them as the steps you have to tick off before you get what you want. See the hurdles as the end result.
Yeah.
See the hurdles as like, this is the end goal. You get that, then it's like, fuck yeah, this is
Yeah, fuck,
this
I've
is
done
that
it.
next end
Wow.
goal, you know?
Mm,
And it's true because it made that like quite overwhelming, ambitious goal quite attainable
mm.
as it's just here. Because this is all we can focus on, really, is like
This
we're
is
at
one
this
moment.
stage. There's no point in stressing about this part of it, you know?
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
not
Like that
anywhere
will
near
come.
this, you may as well stress about not like get
Yeah,
this
yeah,
over with.
yeah. Like that will come. That shit will come. That shit will come. But I'm still learning. I'm still trying to teach myself this mentality because I think what a lot of us find is it's easy to tell a friend, and it's easy to tell people and give them advice like this, but implementing it yourself, I feel like that's a fucking big challenge. And
Yeah,
I'm finding myself implementing this. I'm telling myself all the time, all the shit that I'm telling like other people, like about this and about like the gratitude towards yourself and the compassion towards yourself and the the uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The patience that we need within our lives. And I tell all these people all the time, and I always find I struggle with that myself so much. And yeah, like I'm still on a journey, I'm still on a path to that. But I think we
yeah,
can all, I think the easiest and the best way we get there is by encouraging self-awareness and encouraging the idea of being open with your dialogue in this, like say in this format, or to your friends or to people like to anyone. Like most of the time now I talk to people very openly, anyone really, even people I just first meet, openly about my feelings, my anxieties, my everything like that's going on with me, because why the fuck not? That's me.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're too afraid of not being this perfect, well presented, um knowledgeable, perfect person. Like we're just, if we aren't that, then oh my god, like people aren't going to like us and people aren't going to respect us, or you know think that I'm doing well or doing this. No, like you are a success in yourself. But just by being here, showing up and
yeah.
doing your thing every day, you are a success.
No, it's true. For me, I don't know if you feel the same way, but have you ever, the problem with that is as well when you don't feel successful, or like because you haven't reached that goal, you maybe don't feel like the stuff you have achieved had any value. So
Mm,
like for me, when I get told like I thankfully I have such a supportive family, and they'll tell me, they'll message me and they'll be like, we're so proud of you.
mm,
Like I'm so like I had my mother here this whole last week. She came out from Kenya.
mm,
So we've been doing a bunch of fun stuff together, and I've been trying to work at the same time. Um, and I've come back from SA gigs or whatever, and I've just been exhausted. And then we've gone to like shows and stuff. But she's like, I'm so proud to see how you've just like what you've done. You've achieved so much, and internally, I'm just like I've achieved nothing,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
for that's
yeah,
from my mentality. From
yeah.
her perspective, it's completely different. But for some reason, I shut off that entire side of what she sees. And there's a song that came out recently from a guy called Talk. Do you know that artist? His name is Talk. He's a rather larger artist, but there's a song he released, and it basically all talks about like, if I could see how you see me, I could be a little bit more happy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah,
talks about like other people's perspectives of how beautiful they see we are, because
yeah,
we're
yeah,
our worst like judges, you know.
yeah. No,
I don't
you
know, man. It's weird.
completely know. It's
We're our
completely
worst
correct.
enemy, like
No,
literally.
we are. No, we
Yeah,
are. And you're completely right. You're completely right.
yeah.
Wait. I just did a little bit of a pause because we've got 5 minutes until this thing ends. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Zoom. One day I will be able to afford more time. But it's cool because Chris is back. Yay!
I checked in and Dan was doing this like yogis thingy.
I know. I just came on. I just, you know what? I just pressed record. I feel like I have to explain because I know for a fact we go off of the Zoom and then we come back on and then I can't remember anything that we fucking spoke about in the last 5 minutes. But it's a good thing this time I fucking wrote it down. So we were talking about being our worst enemy.
Mm,
And
indeed.
yeah, I mean, we
So
pretty spoke about it.
I pulled up I got you, don't worry. So I pulled up the lyrics to that song.
Oh,
It's
cool.
A Little Bit Happy by Talk.
Mm.
It's brilliant song. Anyway, his thing is, and this is when the poetry reading starts. So I'm gonna try to sound very wise and sophisticated. Just
You
if I
sound
could
nice and sophisticated anyway.
Okay, thank you. So if I could see how you see me, I could be a little bit happy. And through your eyes, I realize I could be a little bit happy. A little bit happy. A little bit and then he repeats that. Yes, that's the gist. Indeed.
Did you
It's
say
bloody
that's the
good though,
jizz?
isn't it?
Is that the jizz?
Gist. My
That
bad,
is
mate.
the jizz. That's the glory.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That's the end result. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it is. It is. I remember what I was gonna. I remember what I was gonna talk about. What I was gonna say. Because you were talking you were talking a minute ago about um seeing the how proud people are of you and seeing
Mm.
how people perceive you and they how they tell you how amazing you're doing and we don't see that ourselves. I think it's important for us to see that but not get over consumed by this idea of other people's mentality towards ourselves. We still need that balance of thinking this isn't it, like I'm so much more than this, I haven't done enough, I haven't done this, having oh sorry, I just had a little bit of a glitch on my laptop, having that having that parallel of like I just haven't achieved what I need to achieve, but then also seeing wow, I have achieved a lot and I'm a fucking awesome individual and like I am proud of myself, but not letting that consume you and having this like parallel with it. And I think that is a good balance
Yeah.
for life and just for being, for your mental health and for your um to become, I guess, content. Because
I
in
mean,
this because I
yeah.
think that's what we all need to be striving for, is contentment rather than happiness. I think I've said this before. I tend to repeat this a lot, but I think it is. I think we need to strive towards contentment, because in contentment we're level-headed. You know what I mean? When you're happy and you're excited and you have this utter joy, you're at the extreme level of that. But then when you're at the height of a hill, there is always a down. There is always a down bit. And then it's the same as like when you're at your lowest of the lows and you're at the bottom of the hill and you are just feeling utter shit. Obviously that is shit. But again, you're at the bottom of the hill, and most of the time, I don't think there's really anywhere on earth where it's like completely and utterly flat. You know what I mean? There will always be an up bit. But then, that middle bit of the mountain, when you're sitting I'm speaking about experience when I've been in the Himalayas. When you are in the mid, when you're in the middle of a mountain and you're looking at the bottom, but then you're also looking at the top, and you have this feeling of like pure like stillness. I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm not like any of the extremes, I'm both. I'm feeling both emotions right now.
Would you not say that contentment is happiness, though? I mean, because contentment, I would say, isn't in my dictionary a bad word. Like
Yeah,
it
no, and
doesn't
I'm
have
not
really
saying
any
no, I'm saying
negative.
contentment is a good thing. That
No, no,
is so
I get that. I'm just saying, in a way, contentment has a level of happiness to it rather than any negative connotations. Because if you're content, like I don't know, if you're content, it means that
no,
you're
I get what you're
above
saying.
average. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like
do
you,
get what
you're feeling comfortable, but you're not. You're on the rocking chair, you could be on the rocking chair with a cozy blanket and a margarita, but you're on the rocking chair looking at a sunset either way, you know.
There's been some great.
Or you could be on the rocking chair, naked and cold, wishing you had clothes and the blanket and the margarita. You know what I mean? But you've got.
Wait, is that person naked in your scenario?
No. So yeah, I've got to lay this out. You could be sitting on a rocking chair, naked, looking at a sunset, right? You're cold. You could be sitting on a rocking chair, wearing clothes, perfect temperature, looking at a sunset. That's contentment, right? You're good. But to be like ultimate happiness, you could be sitting in a rocking chair with a nice cozy blanket over your lap, a margarita, and looking at the sunset.
Wearing clothes.
You know what I mean? So the middle one and the end one are happiness. But you know, contentment is its own. Like that's pretty good. I'm content with the middle one. Although I want this one. The middle one's like a good deal. You know what I think
you are right in this sense. Contentment is happiness.
Yeah. I should get a tattoo of that, you know, like 3 dudes like on your chest looking at
in a rocking chair.
One dude on the left is
one dude in the middle has got the blanket, I'm not gonna put the screen down. That would be so fucking but they've got the blanket over themselves just with their dick out.
Yeah.
So the pictures is all 3 of them in the middle guy just got the schlong.
No, like a kilt, like a dude in a kilt sitting on the chair, but it's like very, very obvious. There's nothing underneath.
Oh god. Oh. Bro, I've enjoyed this episode, man. I feel like there's been some really good. We've smashed out like loads of dope analogies and dope like things to do with just life and shit. I think it was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when our next episode is going to be. I think we still need to figure that out. I think next week I'm going to be releasing, and this is to everyone as well. Oh my god, I think I'm going to try and commit to releasing our special episode next Sunday.
Next Sunday, which is the
second, right? I think so, because this will be out. This will be out on fuck, what day is it?
The 26th.
Is it 26th today?
Yeah. I've got my I finally found
so this will be out on the second.
Big ass calendar.
That is so old school. Look at that bad boy.
Old school. And you know the problem is I keep it on my desk and I put all my dates in and all my events, all my booked work, right? And then I'll be on set and I'll get jobs or availabilities or auditions. And I'll have no fucking clue if I can do them because my calendar is on at
why don't you take a picture, bro?
Yeah, but then, bro, my whole camera reel would be every time I update my camera, I've got to take a photo for every little thing, you know?
Or just take bro. You need to get a. I should just
fold it and like stick it in my back pocket.
Yeah,
so it just like trousers folds out, you know.
You should unclip all of them and have just one massive strip, and then make it into like a scroll.
Yeah. What am I doing on Thursday?
Yeah. So it's like one of those cartoons when it like you drop the scroll and it like just goes running and running.
It just keeps going.
You're a joker. No, bro, this episode that we're filming right now is going to be out on the 2nd of July. So the next one after that. So ladies and gentlemen, on the 9th of July, we will be releasing our special episode with Joshua Ivy, which is one to not miss. It's Chris, I've got to admit, it was probably one of my favorite episodes.
You shot that at meter square, didn't you?
Yeah. Because it was so like we had the whole mic sitch, we had like a nice setup, we had the table. This is why I'm so excited. I said to Kelvin, like, I'm so excited for all of us to come together and like have a setup like that because it's so.
Yeah. That'll be a dope episode when we can start doing that. I think.
Yeah. We need to start like planning when that can be. I mean, yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so 9th of July, we will be revealing, which is next week, guys, we will be revealing our episode with Joshua Ivy. So stay tuned. That's going to be not one to miss. But yeah, bro, like, fuck. For anyone who can't see on the video on YouTube, Christopher Barton made one of his finger frogs. Oh wait, how did you do that? Because usually I do this.
I haven't done this in so long. Oh, bro, yeah, you got. Except mine has the tail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How did you do the tail one?
Little tail.
Oh,
you just leave your fingers up, like
that's
your
fucking
pinky
weird.
up. Wait, what do you do?
I put the little fingers in because that's the snake, because that's the tongue.
Oh my gosh! Then you can have a tongue. What?
Creative, Candler Creative, ladies and gentlemen. Candler Creative, finger creative.
Where you learn stuff. Oh, like, oh, that's a weird tongue, like that. Oh, that's sore.
Oh, bro. Okay, we can't be doing finger creativity all night. So, guys, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Whether you've watched us on YouTube or whether you've listened to our podcast on Spotify, Amazon, or Google Podcasts, thank you so much. And just like last week, I will be putting our email address in the description. And if you guys, or if anyone wants to drop us an email with your thoughts, any feedback, or if they want to ask us any questions, or if you want us to discuss a particular topic, anything that comes to mind, if you just want to chat, drop us an email. In fact, no, if you do just want to chat, please don't drop us an email, because I can't fucking get in like loads of emails. I mean,
can you imagine?
Could you imagine? Oh, hey. Okay, that's enough.
Hey, Dan, it's been so long.
Yeah, but email us if there's anything podcast related, because yeah, why the fuck not? Thank you so much. This has been Candler Creative Chats. I've been Dan Candler. This has been Christopher Barton. And that's us. Cool. Out. When we're living in watercolor, ready to turn